Lesson 1. Why you don't need to be lifting weights. In this lesson, we'll be discussing 6 reasons why you don't need to be stressing your body by lifting weights and can use your own natural body weight that brings about clear and fast results without damage to your body. Number 1. Bodyweight training requires very little equipment. For the master of bodyweight training, his or her body becomes a gymnasium. Most exercises require no equipment, although if you wish, the exercises can be enhanced with a few items that can be found lying around in almost any home. The very most you'll need is a place to hang from, and every one of us can locate such a place if we look. Stairs, a loft hatch, even the branches of a tree. No gym is required and very little space at most. The equivalent to the length of your own body, often even less. Whereas other strength training systems use metal weights, cables, chains, or machines to produce resistance, the vast majority of calisthenics exercises exploit a free form of resistance gravity. With no gym or equipment required, there is nothing to store away, no clutter. Plus, it means that you can train anywhere you happen to find yourself, on a holiday, in a different city, at work, anywhere. You aren't tied to specific locations. This factor is precisely why calisthenics has survived and thrived in prisons, where equipment is minimal and a prisoner could be moved anywhere, even solitary confinement, at a moment's notice. Another big plus is that calisthenics training is free. No equipment means no financial investment, and no gym means no membership fee, ever. Number 2. Bodyweight training develops useful, functional athletic abilities. Bodyweight training is the ultimate in functional training. In nature, the human body doesn't need to move barbells or dumbbells around. Before it can move anything external at all, it has to be able to move itself around. The legs need the strength to be able to easily manage the weight of the torso in athletic motions, such as running or in combat. The back and arms require the power to be able to pull or push the body up or away. Many modern bodybuilders don't understand this fact. They train first and foremost to be able to move external objects. They may become very good at it, but this approach neglects and eventually compromises the prime athletic directive of self-movement. One might be able to squat 500 pounds, but they waddle up a flight of stairs, wheezing like old men. The practice of calisthenics will not cause any of these movement problems, because it is essentially a form of training in movement. It will make you supremely strong, but no matter how advanced you become in this area, you will only ever become more agile and limber in your movements. The practice of calisthenics will not cause any of these movement problems, because it is essentially a form of training in movement. It will make you supremely strong, but no matter how advanced you become in this area, you will only ever become more agile and limber in your movements. Nevertheless, because you are training the muscles to move the body rather than something external. Number 3. Bodyweight training maximizes strength. Calisthenics movements are the most efficient exercises possible because they work the body as it evolved to work, not by using individual muscles or the portions of a muscle, but as one integrated unit. This means developing the tendons, joints, and nervous system as well as the muscles. This synergy in motion is what causes calisthenics to build such impressive strength. Many weight trainers, no doubt influenced by bodybuilding philosophy, believe that rippling muscles are the source of strength. In fact, it's the nervous system that causes the muscle cells to fire. So your strength and power are largely determined by the efficiency of your nervous system. The nervous component of strength explains why one man can have muscles far, far smaller than another, yet be vastly stronger. Number 4. Bodyweight training protects the joints and makes them stronger for life. One of the major problems with modern forms of strength and resistance training is the damage they do to the joints. The joints of the body are supported by delicate soft tissues, tendons, fascia, ligaments, and bursae, which are simply not evolved to take the pounding of heavyweight training. Weak areas include the wrists, elbows, knees, lower back, hips, the rhomboid, complex spine, and neck. The shoulders are particularly susceptible to damage from bodybuilding motions. You'll be lucky to find anybody who has been lifting weights for a year or more who hasn't developed some kind of chronic joint pain in one of these areas. Number 5. Bodyweight training quickly develops the physique to perfection. Strength and health should be the major goals of your training. You need to be as powerful and functional as you possibly can, for a long time into your old age. But let's be honest, we all want a little muscle too. A lot preferably. A big beefy physique adds to the self-esteem and sends a message to other males saying, "Don't mess with me." Number 6. Bodyweight training normalizes and regulates your body fat levels. Weight training and the psychology of overeating go hand in hand. Before the hard session, an athlete convinces himself that if he eats more, he'll lift better and put on beef. After a hard session, an athlete is artificially depleted and his appetite increases accordingly. The opposite dynamic occurs when an athlete begins training seriously in calisthenics. If obesity and bodybuilding are best friends, obesity and calisthenics are natural enemies. If your goal is to bent over row 400 pounds, you could overeat as much as you like and probably still meet your goal despite carrying around a massive gut. But you couldn't set a goal of doing one-arm pull-ups without watching your body weight. Nobody ever became better at calisthenics by bulking up into a big fat pig. The goal of calisthenics is to master lifting one's own body weight. The fatter you are, the more difficult this becomes. Once you begin training regularly in calisthenics, the subconscious mind makes a connection between a leaner body weight and easier training, and regulates the appetite and eating habits automatically. Thank you, and until the next lesson, goodbye.